Peace, family. Welcome to another episode of Broken Theory. Today we got the homie ASARU, Tampa, Florida. What up?
What's going on, my man? Good to hear from you.
Everything blessed, man. I appreciate you stopping by, man.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
No doubt. So let's get into it, man. I want to talk about how you started with music, what your journey was like.
My journey with music was rather interesting. When I first got into, just music in general, I grew up with music in my house since out the womb. You know what I mean? Like, it was just always there. You know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
I was getting a lot of, like, old school soul joints, like, the Stylistics and the days and Temptations and all that type of stuff. Like, that's just kind of in the R&B that was going on, the Mary J. Blige's and the Mariah Carey's and the Michael Jacksons. And
okay, so you know something, huh?
Yeah, this whole world, Marvin Gaye, all Al Green, everything, like this whole world is just different music.
Leon War.
Yeah, right. You know what I mean? Willie Hutch, you know what I'm saying? Barry White, Isaac Hayes, that type of thing. And hip hop was just always there as well. You know what I mean? Like I remember hearing, like, me when I was little, like Jay-Z and Nas and 50 and Cam and Dipset and the whole G Unit wave and just everything that was going on. Fab, Kiss Style, like that's kind of what was DMX. That was kind of what was going on in New York at that time. You know what I mean? Originally from the Bronx, New York. So that kind of just is where like the genesis began. But I was having a lot of like I'll say very interesting, like, and somewhat difficult life challenges come my way, you know what I mean? And as a young child, losing my grandmother's my whole world and all that. So
sorry to hear that, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, I lost mine as well. I lost both of mine too, man. So I know how that feels.
Yeah, it's tough, man. But I was a young kid, when it happened. I was about like maybe 9, you know what I mean? In a way
same age as me. Yeah, that shit's crazy.
Wow, you know what I mean? So I think what I started to do was I was just looking for a way to express, you know what I mean, after that. And I always just had a passion for just writing. And I think, it started off as poetry, and then it became, well, if I can make words rhyme together, rap, you know what I'm saying? And then I just started going down this laundry list of different albums that I was starting to discover when I was like 10, 11, Illmatics to the 36 Chambers to It Was Written's Reasonable Doubts. And
so you were showing yourself all of this stuff. You just was like kind of like
I'll say a majority of it was coming from the stuff that was going on in the household. You know what I mean? Possibly buying CDs out of nowhere that you see a Leaders of the New School album. You see a Into the 36 Wu-Tang album. You see a Tribe Called Quest album.
You don't forget those covers, man.
You don't. You don't.
You can see that shit 10 years later. You'll be like, yo, I remember that one.
Yeah, like it take you a while. It spin you them covers. That Into the 36 Chambers cover was crazy. I was like, what the hell is this? Like, but it was ill. I love it. Yeah. It was ill, like, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It was super ill.
So you were hearing a whole new world of music, you know what I'm saying? And at what point did you start kind of mixing that poetry that you was experimenting with over the beats and recording yourself?
Well, that started happening at 13 when, I would find like apps in my phone because I didn't really have studio equipment. I had
hold on. You said apps on your phone. How old are you, bro?
I'm like 12, 13.
At what year was this?
It's like 2013.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. It's around that time. You know what I mean? I'm like maybe 13, 14. And, I started finding these apps on my phone that would like help you. Like, you would find a beat, you could upload the beat to the app through your phone, and then you record over it. You know
That's crazy.
So I'm like, okay. So I would write these verses and these songs, and I would come up with hooks and verses, and just started coming up with different stuff just based off what I was hearing.
Yeah.
And Pops came home one day. He was like, "You did this by yourself?" Like, yeah. He was like, "All right." Like 6 months later, I come home from school one day. I'm like freshman in high school. He come home with a bag full of stuff. I see the guitars and stuff. I'm like, all right, what's that? So he opens the bag and it's studio equipment. I'm like, yo, Pop, what's this? He's like, yeah, I got some studio equipment. I see what you're doing in here, and I like where it's going. You know what I mean? I want to make sure that I can craft it in any way that you can. And thankfully, you know what I mean, by the grace of God, you know what I mean, I had that. And then once we learned how to do it, then Pops came home with an MPC one day. He was just not getting beats that really stuck to us at one point. You know what I mean? So we kind of type of people where we take matters in our own hands. We like,
absolutely,
we can learn ourselves.
You got to.
So like 16, I started making beats, and then, you know, through that time, I'm teaching myself how to record now. And now I got this slew of different, this music between 2013 and like 2016 that was just accumulating. And, you know, I just started putting stuff out on SoundCloud, freestyles, trying to get original beats, putting music out through that. And I didn't really know what distribution was yet, you know, so it was a process, you know what I mean? And when it came to recording, you know how it is when you first record, you're doing 100,000.
Oh, yeah. Dude, that shit is like, where do I go from here? How do I stop it? How do I stop it? How do I stop it?
Like, yeah, like, you know, it was a process having to learn how to do cadence and flow and how to be on beat and saying it, getting Pops on my arm, like, yo, say it this way. And see how you like it, see how it comes out in the record. I'm like, oh.
But at least you were doing it with your father to where, like, you know what I mean? He could kind of correct you and be like, yo, you need to step it up. Yo, you need to come on it. Your delivery was weak. You need to, you know what I mean? Versus like somebody you don't know where that intention is coming from. You know what I mean? Like he was able to mold you, it sound like, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I mean, and then that, and it just put me on to different albums. Like, yo, listen to the way Biggie say this. Listen to how Kiss did this scheme. Listen to the way Nas was saying this, and the way Redman was, the way he would say things, and the way he would enunciate on his ad-libs, and just different things. Listen to the way Kendrick rap. Listen to the way Sahara Prince raps. Listen to the way Black Thought raps. You know what I'm saying? Like, just different MCs and just different. Listen to the way Andre 3000 raps. Like, just different MCs that was just on some different wordplay level, wizardry, lyricism that was out of this world. You know what I mean? And
you said the right ones.
You know, and there's plenty more. I'm not even done. I can't give you the whole thing.
I feel it, bro. I ain't even gonna ask for it. But who are 5 people that inspire you as a lyricist?
I have to say 3 off the bat. Nas was kind of like the introduction to like, you can do this. You know what I'm saying? When people hear albums like Illmatic and it was written for the first time, and you young, and you're able to kind of encapsulate what's being said, and then like also like see, hear it, smell it, everything, all the 5 senses work with music. I mean, from there, you got people like Big with just the way he would say things and his flow and the way he used to just bounce off the flows. Like, I dream filthy, my mom and pop whiskey with Jamaican rum and whiskey, with a settle, push the dead off, wipe the sweat off. That's the flow. That flow is ridiculous. And down the line, you get people like, you know, because my 4 and 5 changed so much. My 4 and 5 could be anything. But I would definitely say Hove. Just kind of is like the medium bridge for that. And then you have people like 3000 that was just eclectic with just what he would say. And just how he would think outside of the box creatively. Then you have people like Redman that kind of like enunciate words, and people like Kendrick that enunciate words and really make you pay attention to what's being said and how it's being said.
Absolutely.
You know?
So what was the first moment that you realized you had something to say through music though? Like, when did it all click
I think when I started really just piecing together who I was as a person, just through my experiences and just the information I was reading and just my own, my life, and just looking around at everybody else that was around me at that time, and starting to really go out. And this is when we get to Tampa now.
What age was this?
I'm like 14.
Okay.
14 at this time. We get to Tampa now, and I'm getting friends. You chilling with different people you go to school with, and just going around the city, just going to different places, hearing different music. Like this is when the Migos wave was kind of popping off. Like I know this might be crazy for people.
I know exactly what you're talking about, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like when that wave was going on in 2016, 2017, and I was able to kind of now experience different types of music, still rocking my bread and butter. I'm still knocking Infamous one day, and then the next day I might bump Kosher one. I might listen to what, just different, different styles and different artists like Tyler, I have to say. I might be peeping R&B, like, just different stuff. And I'm also just experiencing life, 16, 17. We going to every particular party that could have been had at that time.
Best believe it.
In Tampa. We was everywhere. We was going out to every particular high school thing, going everywhere. All our friends is out there. And now I'm getting to the point where I have recorded music on the side that I know if I play for people, it's undeniable because I'm playing it for the homies and pops is hearing it, and it's like, yo, everybody's telling me it's just me from working at the craft. I'm not thinking like, my mind is not even set on like, I want to be the greatest rapper alive. My whole thing is like, I just want to make dope hip hop music, and I just want to say something. And just with all these experiences, I'm able to say something. I have something to say.
You could tell, man, with like your subject matter. I mean, that was one of the first things that stuck out to me about you when I first saw you. Because the first time I saw you was live. I think it was at Currency concert. Yeah, yep. And you definitely, out of all the acts that performed, bro, you definitely stood out the most to me. Just because like delivery was on point, and like I said, I could tell that Pops, helped. Cause bro, I thought you were older than what you was. When you said you was fucking around on the phone, bro, I was like, wait, what? That's how you started? Wait, on the phone?
Just even like recording like that. I mean, I was writing on pen and paper, but like just recording like that was, I had that technology. Like, oh, where you can record on your phone?
Yeah, I mean, I'm all about it, bro. If you could do whatever, go for it. But I just thought you grew up in a different era, bro. Like you got an old soul, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's what's up, though. Can you talk about how you handle creative blocks and like what strategies you use to kind of get back into the flow if you ever have them?
Yeah, sometimes I take that as a sign of like, you gotta not force yourself to do records. So when you force yourself to do a song and you have a creative block, it's not gonna come out the way you want. So sometimes you have to put the pen down.
Absolutely.
And sometimes you have to do something else that stimulates the mind. Whether that's reading, whether that's going out on the walk, whether that's just experiencing life for a second. You say, you have little lines you write there, down here and there, but if you got a block, it just means to just go experience life. You know what I mean? Just go clear your mind. Do some techniques, do some grounding techniques to get yourself centered so you can get back to the pen the way you need to. If you're trying to force art. Jay-Z said it in the Black Album DVD, the Fade to Black movie. He was like, whenever you try to force a record and you're just sitting there and you coming up with all these different lines and they overlapping and it's not coming together, it'd be a waste of time to just
making a mess.
Yeah, you're making a mess.
So like, what are some of those activities that kind of help you clear your mind, help you kind of reset? You know what I mean? Take a break from the studio or music.
I would definitely say, as far as what helps me, is definitely just meditation.
How often do you do it?
I try to do it once a day at least.
Okay.
I try to.
That's dope.
You know what I mean? So it kind of like just brings you back to earth for a second. I'll say just also getting some air. Getting some air. You know what I mean? Going to a place that you find, you know, fun, or, you know, where you enjoy yourself, or just taking a breather. You know what I mean? Just not overthinking things. You know, sometimes when you overthink what you want to say, it don't come out the way you want to. So sometimes that first line, or that first 8 bars or whatever you need, just let that out. Let that be what it is, and then you can just build off of it as time goes on.
Yeah, you got to. Are there any books, films, or any other art forms that influence you in your work?
That's very interesting. I'll say certain movies do, like, you know what I mean, when it comes to like, in just I definitely say movies, and books, definitely, like movies like that kind of just detail what was going on in, you know, in the urban communities between the 60s and the early 2000s, to me, become some of the most greatest documented moments in history that I can really see, you know. And then when you see it coming from where you're from, and you just see all the errors that, you know, your hometown and urban America as a whole is going through. And you see the fashion, you see the music, you see the culture, you see, you know, kids playing outside, the fire hydrants busted, and, you know, you see you just see what's going on. The music is bumping out of the stereos. You just see just how this art form, or whatever art form, is just moving the people, and music and fashion just comes together. Music and movies come together. Music and sports comes together. Like music and books come together. Like you hear about rappers talking about Donald Goines and these different books that just exist, that just provide a vast array of information. And some of those books I read. You know what I mean? Like you might stumble upon a book like Message to the Black Man. You might stumble upon a book called Behold a Pale White Horse. You know what I mean? There's a lot of different books that you can come across that just gives you so much information. And that information was just powerful enough for me to realize, you know, you got something to say. You know what I mean? And you got something to also present yourself in regards to film. You know?
Yeah, they're gonna have to rewind that one to get both of them book names, because those are some good. Those are some good ones, for real.
For sure.
Absolutely. So navigating this industry, what is the biggest challenge that you've faced since you started?
Weeding out a lot of people that don't have the best intentions for you. I think it's been one of the biggest challenges I can say. Because when you come from a place just wanting to bring the community together, and, you know, you start realizing in doing so that a lot of people just don't mean what they say, and they're not who they say they are.
Well, they don't value your time either, you know.
Right. You know what I mean? They don't value your time. They don't value your effort, your investment, nothing. So it becomes very difficult to navigate that sometimes, for sure.
If you could give some advice to your younger self, what would it be and why?
Don't overthink so much, you know, because when you overthink, you make small things bigger things. Relax, relax, calm down. You're gonna be fine. You got a dope future ahead of you. You're gonna do some things that are gonna surprise yourself. Don't let the world get you down. And have faith in the Most High. It's just, if all else fails, just know that you're gonna be carried through whatever storm happens to you. You know what I mean? So
absolutely. Faith is real important. How did you get your faith instilled in you?
It had to come through experience. It had to come through loss. It had to come through just, you know, family members passing away. And just knowing that, you know, and just a vast array of different situations, things I experienced in the street, like just different things, you know what I mean? Just
I feel it.
Nature, you know what I mean? It's being rebellious and wanting to walk the beat of your own drum, you know. But just knowing that it's all for a reason why you may not necessarily, you know, want to be who everybody else is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just want to walk your own path.
Absolutely. You know? Nas said it best. It's written. It was written.
Mm-hmm, right. It's written in the stars. You know what I mean? No matter what it is that you do, no matter what obstacles come your way, if you just keep it pushing, whatever you want is going to be inevitable.
Absolutely.
You know, you just keep doing what you do and trust the process. Yeah.
How did you get your name?
ASARU was my middle name.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's synonymous if you just in a different text and different languages. It's synonymous with Osiris, the same particular meaning, the same particular aspect or deeds. You know, depending on how deep you know you want to go into just ancient texts and things like that. But,
that's dope, man.
Yeah, definitely.
What was your biggest investment in music that you made?
Man, biggest investment. I'll say equipment, studio sessions. I'll say definitely video production. It's a lot, you know what I mean? A lot of big investments were made, you know. When I did the 95 Esco video, I definitely made sure that I invested some time and some energy into that video because I just wanted it to be a certain way and I had a vision and it just came out the way I wanted it to. But definitely, man, I'll definitely say just a lot of things have been a big investment for sure.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. How has music changed your life?
Man, music changed my life in a way where I know what my particular purpose is now. Mm-hmm. You know, I know what I'm here to do. I know I have something to say, and it also just made me a lot more confident in myself. Like, you know,
absolutely.
It made me realize that, you know, certain things are bigger than you in the same breath. You know, when you get on that stage and people are telling you like, yo, you remind me of X, Y, and Z, or not even remind me, but you just like make me love hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
People tell you that you make me love hip hop. You make me love what this culture is, and you keep it true. And you know, people are telling me, you know, DMing me saying that songs got them through difficult times, and songs got them through this and X, Y, and Z, and people saluting you coming from different places and all different necks of the woods, like just coming up to you and showing you love just based off the strength of what you do. Mm-hmm. And that's dope. That's the greatest thing ever.
There's no feeling like it, you know, to be honest. And unless you have felt that, you won't understand. You know what I mean?
Nope.
And if you haven't felt it yet, you definitely can't take advice from people that haven't.
There you go.
I'm just saying. 100%.
There you go.
What makes a good song or beat to you?
I think what makes a good song or beat is when the beat talks to you, depending on where you are in life. Certain beats and songs touch you at different places of your life. And I think if you're depending on the mind state that you're in can make or break what a song and a beat does to you.
That's fire. Yeah. What do you hope to express when somebody listens to your music, any song of yours? Like what point do you hope to get across to any listener?
You know, I hope that you know that you're listening to somebody that is passionate, ambitious, somebody that is going to go against the grain, not because it's popular to be contrary, but because it's popular to be yourself, or it should be popular to be yourself, rather. So, you know, you're going to get the fact that, you know, a bunch of things I hope to really convey, but overall, I hope that you know that you're listening to someone that is for the betterment of his people himself. And, you know, if God willing, if one man can't change the world, and I know that I definitely can't do that, because you might try that and you bust your ass doing that in the process. Mm-hmm. But that somehow, some way, somebody hears what I have to say and says, I can do this too. Mm-hmm. I can get through whatever's going on. I can get through anything, and I can do anything. Anything. You can come from any situation and get through it and do what you have to do and prevail.
Absolutely. So. What does your daily routine look like when you're in a creative zone?
A lot of the times you might have some tea by the desk while the beast is playing. Might have a glass of wine. But, you know, ultimately what it is it's a lot of quiet me in the song. You know, the only thing that's going on is me and the music. You know, it's just, you start seeing colors, you start hearing different things in a way that you can just piece everything together. They call that synesthesia when you see colors. I didn't know what it was until people started talking about it more, and I was like, oh, I do that too. You know what I mean? I can listen to music and see some colors. You know, it's kind of just what happened.
Nah, that's dope. Did you learn that from a book?
No, not really. I actually learned that through interviews. Just hearing people talk about the experience. I'm like, oh, well, okay, I know exactly what they're talking about.
Yeah, that's the first time I'm hearing it, and I'm like, yeah, I definitely do that shit.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you hear music and see colors. Like synesthesia.
Yep. Okay.
That's what it's called.
But shit, I definitely got that shit.
Yeah. I think a lot of people that do music do. I might do a lot of music. Yeah. I think at some point, anybody that does it, does music is definitely gonna see that for sure. If you're an artist of any kind, rather.
Absolutely. How important is community for you? And what's a story about like a genuine connection and maybe like you and your fans?
Community is very important. I think when you have a village of people that, you know, you can lean on to uplift you, and also you can bring a sense about community where you can uplift those people back. It's kind of like a nurturing, watering thing. You know what I mean? Like you give water and then return water back. The more you have, the more you're able to get back. So that's just, I think that's how important community is for me. And just when it boils down to it, it just goes back to a lot of experience. You know, people telling me, they just coming home from X, Y, and Z penitentiary or this jail, and they feeling what I'm saying. Or people are coming to me talking about how, you know, a loved one passed away and they were able to listen to this song and they felt it. Or, you know, they just telling me that, you know, they know what I represent and they can see what I stand for and they see me. You know, I think that's the best part, for sure.
Makes it all worth it. All the money that you spend up front for yourself, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
That's an endless cycle, bro.
Yeah. You hear that and you're like, woo, not for nothing.
I know it.
Yeah.
How do you decide when a piece of music is ready to be shared with the world?
When I get that feeling in my chest, like, oh, you have something. You know what I mean? Like, this is amazing. You know what I mean? You get, you know, that feeling in your chest, or that feeling you get your very core when you just hear some music that you made or something that you did, and you just get like that charge and energy. That's kind of just what typically happens with me. When that happens, you know, that's how I know it's like, okay, it's time to get this out. I feel too good about this. I'm hyped.
Absolutely.
You know, all that.
Like, any tips you could share when working on an album that you've learned over time, like just creating something that you like kind of critiqued yourself on, or some tips that help you kind of stay in the zone?
You got to know your why. You got to know your why. When you're putting that album together, do you just want to put the album together just for the sake of dropping music, which is cool, you can do that, you know what I mean, spread your wings, and just really just put something out, you know what I mean? Do you feel charged about it? You know, what is your overall goal? with putting together a project or any piece of music, rather. You know, what do you want to drop off? What do you want to give to the people that they haven't heard before? What do you want to introduce people to? What do you want to talk about? Those types of things are very important when you're putting together like a real piece of music. And just how does it sound? How much are you willing to invest in how this sounds? You know, because you can get any mix you want in the world, but if it don't sound like quality, it's not going to hit the way you want it to. You know, so the sound is good is a very, very, very important part.
What advice would you give an emerging artist who's trying to make a name for themselves in the rap game?
Stay on course. Just stay on course. Whatever you're doing, just work at your craft. Hone into that. Make sure that you're perfecting it. Experiment. Try new things. Don't get discouraged. You're gonna get told no 1,000 times. But make sure that for every 1,000 no's you get, there's a 1,000 yeses that balance out. You know, that's the greatest thing I can say. And just keep that level head. You know, don't take everything personal. I struggled with that for a long time. You know what I mean? Don't take things personal. Know what to take personal and what not to. You know, I'll say that for sure. Know and just keep your faith up. Trust the process, bro. Trust that process.
Absolutely, man. What's your favorite project that you've worked on?
This new one.
When is this? When is this one about to drop?
This new one. I don't have a release date yet.
Okay.
But I will say 2025.
Okay.
We'll say 2025. There's a lot of new music that's getting made. You know that I'm feeling real great about.
That's what's up.
I think a lot of artists say that with every new project that's coming out, but
I mean, as you should though. I mean, if you don't say that about your new project, then it says like exactly what it's gonna be.
Yeah, exactly. You know, but definitely I would say this new music that's coming. You got singles dropping. I got a single dropping on August 30th called No Extras with my boy Nine, who, you know, that's my brother. You know what I mean? He, you know, we came together. We've been making records since 2014. You know what I mean? He was there from the beginning, on set. This whole was. We've just been homies for the longest time, for 10 years. And, you know, that's something this record I'm feeling real good about. You know, to keep your eye out just for the new music. And 2025, new album perhaps. You know what I mean? I'm just seeing how the vibes go, but I definitely plan to drop a body of music in 2025.
That's what's up. That's what's up. What would you say is your favorite track that you've worked on?
At this point, 95, let's go. I think that record is, you know how like certain artists like have a song, especially rap artists, and it's like this particular song is their like ID.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I feel like that record is. It's the essence of everything, that all my influences, just the sound, just where it takes you, the zone it takes you, the place you get in as you listen. And just doing a video for that was kind of full circle for me. You know, going out to Queensbridge and doing that and just linking up with people from the bridge, a place I ain't even from, but just got ties to, you know, that area, and just love for what that neighborhood brought to me. You know what I mean, as an artist, as far as the hip hop artists that come from there. So it was crazy to do that. But yeah, I think that's that one for me.
Nah, that's fire, man.